I only had two specific negatives that were kind of distracting for me. The first one was kind of the bigger, the main storyline with the new AI.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of dragged on for a long time.
Big time.
Every single episode, it was about, you still haven't told me the reason why.
What are you gonna do? Why are you doing all this? Why are you playing the games?
You guys are in this room for a long time. Right. What else are you guys talking about?
Yeah, and like the world's about to end, so man. Let's wrap it up.
Let's get to your good reasoning here. You know, and I understood at the end why not why it dragged it out, but what the point he was trying to get across to the AI.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the lead up to that was very unchanging for 7 episodes.
Yeah.
It's like, why should I spare the humans? Activate me or not activate me?
Right.
He's like, well, you're not going to spare the humans. You know, it was that back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
And that got very old very fast. So I was taken out of that a lot. Like that story, the main story with that new AI just didn't do much for me. At the end, it was kind of cool, I guess, for him to show the capacity of humans and survival and sacrifice, love. That kind
I
of
did
thing.
not get on board with that new AI until the last episode.
Yeah,
and even not even like the last episode, like the last part of the last episode.
That last moment, yeah,
right. Because I'm thinking, okay, so maybe what they'll do if they get a second season is maybe it'll be this new AI kind of fighting on behalf of humanity.
Right, yeah.
So that's the only thing that's interesting about it, because otherwise that whole buildup was like, man, I don't know whose side you're on. You seem very wishy-washy.
Exactly.
I don't trust you for shit. Like,
at all.
I mean, and they're hinting like she may have like joined with Skynet.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking like, is that the story they're telling? They're gonna like say Skynet rose to power because of this one thing.
Right.
Here?
Yeah.
So,
or whatever the turning point is, like whenever Judgment Day does come.
Yeah.
And Skynet wins Judgment Day or succeeds at Judgment Day, it's gonna have something to do with whether Kokodo let it happen or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, whatever. That's fine. Whatever way they're gonna go with that in the anime series, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just it's that part. I mean, it's at the very end. You know, they get the T-800 skull.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, that's some kind of foreshadowing. Maybe she's gonna build her own army.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be some kind of
I figure she's gonna like
change,
rebuild.
maybe.
I figure I'm thinking they might do like a Terminator 2 thing where she's gonna rebuild him. And now he's gonna be fighting on our side, kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be the fun, straightforward way to do.
Yeah.
I feel like the cooler way would be like, oh, we don't know if we can trust his AI yet because she's building her own army now.
Oh,
so
that would be interesting.
And then the other layer that was cool before I go back into negatives was the older son.
Yes.
That Terminator came back and said, you sent me back here.
Yeah.
Like, you're the one who sent me, so you gotta decide.
That last episode was very interesting.
Right. I want to know more about what that kid.
Yeah.
Because if you would.
Because when the Terminator saved him.
So Terminator saved him, yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You don't save people. There's a lot of cool parts in that. And when he told him, like, yeah, you sent me, so you had to decide how this is gonna end. Like, if you end it, you know, you have some kind of role.
Yeah.
In the future. On the Skynet side of things, maybe.
Right.
But that was interesting. I mean, he ended up choosing to save the AI.
And maybe in a different timeline, he decided not to do that.
Right, yeah.
And he became like this. Yeah, Judgment Day happened. He became like whatever, like this broker in between the two.
Yeah.
Or maybe he lied to the Terminator and said, go back in time. Don't worry, I'm going to flip the switch.
Yeah.
And he didn't flip the switch.
Right.
I'm thinking more there's a change.
Yeah,
there's
something changed.
There's something changed.
And I was actually like, dude, what is this kid gonna decide?
Yeah.
And I was actually
exactly.
I was kind of actually leaning towards I was hoping he would have flipped the switch the other way.
Ooh.
And then that would have been the divide of his path with his other family's path, and that would have been it's more layers.
Yeah.
But he didn't go that way, but there's still something in there though, I think.
Yeah,
even with this.
Yeah.
There's still something in there.
Yeah, to put it lightly, there's a darker side to his story. Maybe not to him, I will say, but there's a potential darker side to whatever path he ends up taking.
Yeah. And that's interesting to me. I want to see where that goes. But like I was saying, at the end, you're saying at the end of the episode 8, there were a lot of cool moments that happened that made me like, okay, pick my interest a little bit. And I was like, I'm interested to see where this goes. But that main AI storyline was just dragged out between between her or it and Malcolm.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for. It got old fast.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's get to the killing humans and the robots. Let's get to more of that. That was my big. The second negative I had, man, was that, and this is more of a nitpick kind of thing, only because I know a little bit of Japanese. The subtitles were horrible. Like the actual physical subtitles to what they were saying. Because I know some Japanese. And there was a lot of like fuck and shit in there, in the literally those words in the subtitles, and there's not quite a word for that, but that's not the main issue. The main issue is that like they would say something like, there's one part, when Misaki's trying to get in the car and get the girl.
That's literally what I was about to say.
There's one part where like
and
literally
she tells him like, buck your fucking seatbelts or something like that.
Literally what she says is get in the car. Put your seatbelt on. And then but the subtitles like put your fucking seatbelt on or something like that. I was like, that's not what she said at all.
Right. In the English or the dubbed version, she delivers it very, matter of factly, like I'm not sure if it's supposed to be cool or whatever it's supposed to be, but she says like put your fucking seatbelt on. That was literally, when you were saying all this right now, that's literally what I was thinking about, because watching it I'm like, this doesn't feel right. There's something, and maybe she would have like delivered that whatever it is, profanity or whatever it is in a cool manner, just very casually. Because sometimes that works, but it felt off. And the fact that when you were saying what you're saying, that's the first thing that popped in my head. There was something was definitely off.
There's definitely a translation issue. And there's another part that I kind of caught, and I noticed like when the little girl's trying to call her dad. And the assistant's like, oh, your daughter's calling you for some kind of issue. And he says her name. He goes like, oh, Reika. But the subtitle is, God damn it. And I was like, that's not even at all the tone or what he's saying. Like, he's saying her name like he's worried about her, wants to know what's going on. But the subtitles say, God damn it, like I'm annoyed.
That changes everything.
Like, changes the whole thing.
It's like, he's concerned about her. And one is like, now she's annoying. Those are two very different things.
Two very different things. So there's that. There's like another part where the cop was talking to Misaki before they find out who she is. And she like tells her, she's telling her what needs to happen. And he was like, he basically says, I understand. But then the subtitle says, it's like, you should calm down and like relax. And I was like, you're not saying what they're physically saying is not matching the subtitles. And that's only because my mom's Japanese and I know some Japanese words. You know what I mean? And so that stuff threw me off. And I was like, they're trying to add like a edgier type of tone to what was actually voice acted or written. You know what I mean? So that was super distracting. Like throughout most of the tail end of it got a little bit better. But those first like 4 episodes, I'd say 5 episodes maybe, were really, really poorly dubbed or subbed. So I think that was distracting. I don't know if I'm sure most people didn't notice it, but
I'm sure unless they speak Japanese. And I know, and I don't even speak Japanese, but I obviously watching anime and watching Japanese movies or whatever for so long, you start to pick up on certain things. And that bugs me, because now I feel like I'm almost being lied to kind of thing. When I see something, when I see a character say or hear a character say something, and I know that's not the word, I'm like, what are you doing right now? Why are you doing this?
Just tell me what they're saying. You know what I mean? Instead of putting your own spin on it or your own thing or trying to change whatever it is about it, And
that's really, they're putting their own spin on it or whatever. And again, most people won't pick up on that. But when I do see it, it irks me. You know what I mean? It's just like,
because I'm even wondering like how, because the stuff that I don't know what they're saying.
How much am I missing?
Can I trust the diet? Can I trust what I'm reading, the subtitles? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if some of it's not off, there's a good chance that a lot more of it's off that I just don't understand. So I'm not fluent. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was like super annoying. I was really, really bothered by that, to the point where I was writing down each one that I saw.
Oh, okay.
So it was distracting, very distracting. Unfortunately. Anything that you had?
I think we covered most of them. I mean, the artwork in this is great. I think some of the negatives are just I don't know. I feel like we, pretty much cover them. For
Yeah,
the
we
most
mixed
part,
them in
so.
a lot.
Yeah,
I think,
that's true.
There's
That's
a lot
true.
of
I think everything that I did have any issues with, I kind of threw that out there already. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, the whole extra Skynet, whoever that chick was supposed to be, Kokoro, whatever. Yeah, got a little bit annoying. It dragged out far too long. Man, there was one part I was thinking too where I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. So she was saying like, I can't remember what it was. If she was saying like people are a tool or using me as a tool, you know what I mean? Or, science is used as a tool kind of thing. It's like, no, it's not like that. I mean, it's always, it's just whatever the person ends up ultimately doing with that tool. It's not the tool itself or whatever, but I digress. What do you want to rate this though? Because I don't have any other real negatives that we haven't covered.
About it. So for me, it's hard to say because most of Terminator is not good, and this is probably one of the better entries in the Terminator since Terminator 2. Probably, if not the best.
No, I would agree with that. I would say Terminator 1 and 2, and then probably
this is probably the best thing.
I mean, it does kind of, it tells a little bit of his own story as far as like timelines and all that kind of thing are concerned and how they work or whatever. But it's, for one, you get to see, Judgment Day from a whole different perspective, not from like happening in America or what you get to see it like happening in Japan. Right. So that aspect of it, I was cool with that. I liked, but yeah, the fact that we get to see it in that light, in that manner, I give it, I kind of give it some props for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I give that too, and I do appreciate that they did try to kind of do their own thing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's hard to not sit back and be like they're trying to insert themselves into the Terminator timeline, and not quite. And this is a horrible example, but how Acolyte kind of like try to put themselves in like, oh well, we're the reason for this, well we're the reason for that. Yeah. This is our point in time and how we affected everything else. It's not quite as extreme as that. Yeah. But it seems like it's like, oh well, if we're just gonna use new timelines, we can just do infinite Terminator stories, and this will just be one of them. And I felt a little bit like that when I was watching it. Not quite as bad again as the Acolyte or any other series that do things like that. Yeah. But it felt like I was like, they're still trying to milk Terminator, and I don't know if it should be milked anymore because they haven't been able to do anything good since the first two films. Yeah. With that said, I think Terminator Zero is a fun show, and it's refreshing for Terminator fans maybe to see something that's pretty decent. It's decent in the Terminator world. But for a rating, I would probably say I'm maybe sitting at like maybe an 80. Like I was up late last night watching it. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I was wasting my time watching the show. That's cool. That's a big thing for me. Yeah. Like by the end of it, like if it's 2:00 in the morning and I feel like I wasted my time, then that's a bad show for me or a bad movie. This, I didn't feel like I wasted my time doing it. I was cool with the ride. So like maybe an 80. Okay. I'd say we get an 80. For a while, I wouldn't say drop what you're doing to watch this like first. Yeah. Unless you're a diehard Terminator fan, but definitely stream it. Put it on your list. It's a fun show. It's a fair entry into the Terminator. It's the best thing we've gotten since Terminator 2, probably. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say about it.
Yeah. If I'm gonna lowball it, I think my lowest score I might give it an 85, and then maybe up to like maybe an 87 or so. Yeah. Because again, same thing. It is probably the best thing we've seen from Terminator since the first two. I like that we do get to see it in a different from a different perspective. Oh yeah. I'm going to slightly disagree with something you said that I'm okay with, and I only didn't get okay with it until the last episode. That because I feel like they kind of introduced why or how they might take this series into a completely different direction. And it's justified. I didn't necessarily feel like so much like they were trying to insert themselves into the established, quote unquote, established Terminator world. I feel like they're really trying to set up their own. So I'm thinking what possibly could happen is there could be, and again, because it's an anime, I feel like there could be a much happier ending with this story, because now humanity has a Skynet of their own to fight for them. I feel like all those, those robots that are running around, those whatever they call them, yeah, whatever they are. I feel like those might be converted into weapons for humanity. So I feel like it takes a different tangent in that sense.
I mean, they did murder a lot of humans too, though.
They 100% did.
Yeah.
But now I feel like, and so there should be, especially from the beginning, some wariness from humanity about these robots. But I'm thinking Kokoro or whatever is going to probably take them over, reprogram them, probably reprogram that Terminator, build him a whole new body or whatever. And then they're going to be fighting for humanity. So essentially Japan is going to be like the last, safe place for people, so to speak, on Earth before.
Oh, shit, yeah. Did Kokoro protect the whole world? Or just Japan? Did everybody else get hit with the nukes?
I think everybody else got hit with the nukes. I think everybody else got hit because for whatever, I think she stopped the nukes from hitting Japan, but all the other nukes were going off everywhere else in the world.
Oh shit! So Japan's like the last paradise stronghold.
Yeah, it's the last. Yeah. From I mean, that's what I got from it.
Okay.
That's the last. That's the last. Yeah, like you said, the last paradise, last stronghold, or whatever. I mean, it's it's a worldwide thing. So
yeah.
They're going to get hit with it too in some form or another.
Yeah, so I guess all things considered, she wasn't that bad.
Yeah, she at least saved those.
Much worse.
Yeah, she at least saved those guys.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I'm kind of curious what might happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that especially with the way that the show ends, I think there's a potential for it to be its own thing, which is exciting to think about. And this is one that I'm more excited than wary about. Because how or
at least more curious is a good way to put it.
Yeah, for me, curious. With the way the show is executed, much better than other shows we've talked about. But yeah.